Hello everybody, welcome back to the Forever Bedrock Realm. So guys, down in my inventory you can see that we have 16 TNT, and that is because we are about to head into the nether and blow up 16 TNT. Now the reason that is 16 is because last episode, or the episode before the podcast, we got 8 likes. So every video from now on I am going to double up the likes and explode that many TNT in the nether. And of course, guys, this is all in our attempt to get a netherite beacon for our base. And hopefully, you guys can help me out with that. So the more likes we get, the more TNT I explode. The more TNT we explode, the faster we can find ancient debris. So we already have one netherite block. We're about halfway to another one. And this TNT is not cooperating with me today. But that's all right. Hopefully we'll still find some form of ancient debris. That'd be pretty cool. There we go. We already got 3. Doing pretty good. Oh, clutch shot. All right. And of course, this will help us find gold because we are making another beacon out of gold. So, all right. Looks like we got 6 pieces. That's pretty darn good. Well, guys, we did indeed get 6 pieces of ancient debris. And of course, we can go ahead and smelt that up. I also got 19 pieces of gold, which I'll smelt up. So we can go ahead and make ourselves another ingot. And then we have another 2 pieces that were already smelted, so we can actually make ourselves 2 ingots. So we are slowly but surely getting closer to that netherite beacon. Now, guys, as I head back to the base, I'm actually going to show you a clip of our base progress, just in case you happen to forget how far we got. And it'll actually be with RTX. D-Sky was nice enough to send me a clip of him doing a flyover of my base with RTX. So take a look at this clip with shaders on. Alright, so we have our 6 pieces of ancient debris smelted down into netherite scrap. I went ahead and smelted up the gold. So that, of course, gives us 2 more ingots. Plus, we can also make a gold block. I just made gold pressure plates. My gosh. So, guys, I'm going to show you the progress that I made on this in between episodes. And that is now useless. But I did get a lot done. I'm trying to keep my head down so I don't show you all of it. But what I managed to do is I got this little section over here done. I know, it's not a lot. But I got this side started. This side's almost done. Like I said, I still have to concave that out. And then up here, I got, basically, we were like right here. So I got all of this done, and I got all of that done. And I got an extra row and a half up top. And the reason I did those is simply because when I was AFKing, there was like a visual glitch, and it just kept raining and raining and raining. And it rained for like 21 straight days on the server. So I was like, man, if I'm going to make an episode, it can't be raining in here because rain's kind of rough to film in. But turns out all I had to do was relog. So ended up doing that, and it fixed the problem. But as you can see, obviously there's not a lot of copper left out here right now. And if you look in our copper chest, we have about 2 stacks plus a half, or 2.5 rows plus a half a stack. So it's like 18.5 stacks, I believe, left of copper. So if my math is correct, we have already put in roughly 1,800 blocks of oxidized copper into this build. And we're not done. We're not even remotely close to being done yet. So my original estimate of 5,000 might have been pretty close. Because you figure we still got to do that side, we got to do the cab, and we have to do the top part over. And that's just the front half of the ship. And like I said, I might actually continue this back, maybe another 2 more. So, that's at least another 3 stacks there. So we have a lot of work to do with oxidizing copper. Right now I'm kind of letting it die down just so, I don't have to look at copper the whole episode. I'm kind of tired of looking at it. So what are we going to do today? Well, first things first is I want to get the storage system in and started because that will actually tell us about where we need to be back here. And after we finish that, I want to go ahead and I want to landscape this ice pond lake thing that we have here. And I want to go ahead and terraform this and get this design in because I do want to put that serpent in. And I did look at like designs online, try and get some like inspiration and see how people are like building their snakes and serpents and all that. And I was like nowhere close with my design. My design was so off. It was very wonky looking and I wasn't very happy with it. So I'm going to take a little inspiration from those builds I've seen and we're going to go with that design because it does look a lot better than mine. But let's go ahead and let's get started on this storage system. So what I want to do for the storage system is this design here, which you guys remember seeing, well, 2 episodes ago, if you count the podcast, which hopefully all of you guys listened to. It was very awesome interviewing Fred, but we have our design for our storage system. Of course, we'll have an item filter across the top. And what I want to do is make it so that I can come in here, like somewhere around like this area here, drop my items off into a chest, and then have them in a dispenser, and then the items come up a water tube and then flow across our item filter. I think that'll be really, really cool. So I've never used water for an item storage system. Like it always just kind of made me nervous, but we're not really putting anything super valuable into our storage system this year because, of course, we have our valuables shulker box right here. So I'm not super concerned if like an item gets lost or an item doesn't get used in the system. It's not that big of a deal. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and experiment with this. So now I kind of got to figure out how I can get this dispenser in here and then like make it shoot into a water stream. So you're going to have to give me a second here, but I'm going to try and work something out. All right, guys. So I managed to get at least like the unloading part of the system in. So it's like a tangle of redstone back here. It really is. I don't know exactly what I did, but it works. I set this comparator on subtract mode and then ran up a spaghetti of redstone here and then kind of made it repeat back on here and into the dispenser. And I don't know. It works. The important thing is it works. So if we just toss this red sand in here, we can see, boop, the stuff starts coming on out. And we do have to kind of put like a little thing up top so it doesn't like shoot over. But right now it's kind of just landing nicely in this chest. So if we look in here, we have 4 red stands. So I'm not going to question it, but it works. So that's the important thing. So next thing is, of course, we have to get our item like filters in. And those are going to go up there along the ice. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new water stream there. And water, of course, flows 8 blocks. So we have 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the water will come to, I'll just mark it with this, 8. So we'll put another ice block here. And then we'll continue another 6 down. So we'll have 12 items on this side. And then we'll round this bend here. And we'll actually have up to about here to store items. And then what we're going to do is put our nether portal in here. So all in all, I think we'll have about like 16, maybe 17 or 18 things that we can store on each side of the storage system. And of course, this is the large mobile storage system, or the LMSS for short, because, once these fill up, all I got to do is come over here. I can take this and I have a whole shulker box of items at my disposal. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to get in the item filters. Now, we aren't going to be filtering out we're just going to basically have common items in here because, like I said, the more expensive and rare ones go in my shulker box or end chest. So not super worried about that. So I know the first 6 are going to be logs. Then we'll go into stones. And then, basically we have room to add whatever we want on top of that. So let's get some filters in for logs and we'll see what we get. Well, guys, as you can see, we got our first module in, so I decided on going with 5 chests. I think that's the better option here, just in terms of spacing. So I did run out of a concrete block, and this isn't going to be the final design, but I figured I'd start to patch it up. So, I mean, it's pretty simple, actually. I mean, look, I can just grab a whole shulker box of, if I have it, or I can just take it out like a regular storage system. So we have our 5 main types of logs. I'll start over here with acacia, and then I'll go through the stone. Will be our next module, which will actually start right here. So there is going to be a 2 gap. So if we put another 5 in, yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will end right here, which will be perfect because then we can turn the bend and then stick a couple more in here. And like I said, this is going to be our nether portal. So what I'm actually going to do is I have a couple of oxidized copper, and then there's a bunch laying around. I just kind of didn't want to go out there while, like, you know, I was doing this just in case it caused like a problem with the machine. So I'm just going to tack these on. So we are going to go one more layer around. So I'm going to run around, grab the copper, and at least get the base in. And then we can actually build ourselves like a giant nether portal, which is something I've never done. And we'll actually have to link it up too, because right now it'll interfere with D-Ski's main portal. But we can go ahead and like make our own, you know, away from his in the nether. And we can actually get an actual dedicated mining area now instead of just going down the middle of the path like we currently do. And after spending 2 days putting in the storage system and cleaning up everything around the area, I actually did manage to AFK another stack and a half of copper, so I added that onto the build. But here's our current sorting system. So as you can see, the items get shot out of here. You guys remember that. They come down through here. And the cool thing is, because I left the like glass in front of the water streams, you can see the items like moving across, and I think that's really neat. So what we have over here is like our bulk overflow. So basically anything that I'm not sorting just kind of gets stuck over here. It's just like a conglomeration of stuff. And then this here is going to be kelp, but I didn't have enough to actually make, you know, like item filter for it. So I just have a couple up there. And then of course we have all our vegetables that we're going to be farming: carrots, potatoes, cocoa beans, vines. This bone meal is kind of a pain because since we're using a dispenser, it just sits there and like tries to dispense it. But it's not a big deal because we'll just put the farm on this side and then just have it drop straight into the water streams. We have bamboo, cactus, sugarcane, pumpkin, watermelon. This is blackstone, and because of the angle here, I can't put an item frame. And then it's the same in this corner over here. But we have our dripstone block, our cobbled deep slate, our red sand. We have gravel, sand, dirt, and then this is netherrack, and I didn't put an item filter on it because we have so much of it. Tuff, diorite, cobblestone, stone, acacia, jungle, spruce, dark oak, birch, and oak. So this is a pretty massive storage system, and like I said, this took me 2 whole days to put in. I did also put in our nether portal, which we were going to have to link up, and yeah, I mean, this was a heck of a build, but we got it in. And over here we were going to put in like a little access door, only because with this system, how it's set up, stuff can actually get like behind in the hopper. So if I'm looking for something and I can't necessarily find it in this wall of boxes, well, then I can go around back and double check there. And then I added some sea lanterns in down here to give us light. I'm pretty sure this will be enough light to prevent spawns even out to here. And then I have these. I'm going to cover these with iron trap doors. And then for the ceiling, we're just going to use slabs and kind of give it like a little bit of depth. And I think that'll look pretty nice. But that gives us a general area for where we can put our second floor. If I can fly up here. I really can't, but so our second floor, I mean, we can start it like even a block above that and then continue it up to like almost a red line or maybe 2 blocks up. So we're going to have about 10 or 12 blocks for the second floor, and then the third floor will be what it is. So, I mean, we have plenty of space in this spaceship, and we still have to keep going back. So behind our storage system, what I plan on adding is our animals. So we're going to try to get one of every animal, kind of like a Noah's Ark situation, going back. So we'll have 1 cow, 1 pig, 1 sheep, 1 chicken. You guys get the drift. And then all the way in the back, we'll have the engine room, which will just be a deep slate burner, and that'll be like how we fuel our ship. And then second floor is going to be all farms, villagers, etc. And third floor is going to be the floor that we get to have fun with, because we can build like, I want to build like a trophy room with all the armor stands. I want to build like, you know, a mementos room. That's why we have like the 1 sponge. You know, I have a dragon head. That's why I picked all those up, because I wanted to bring them to like remember Earth, or, you know, what life was like on Earth. So I'm going to do a little bit more work on here, go get the kelp, and then we'll get started over on, of course, this area here. Well, guys, I went ahead and I finished up the kelp. It didn't take long. I mean, all you gotta do is go to the ocean and throw some bone meal on it, so it wasn't that big of a deal. So we actually just got hit with like snowmageddon for the year. So I kind of figured we were gonna lose power during the snowstorm. So rather than keep working on the project, I just AFK'd a bunch of copper. So I managed to add, I think, like another like 6 rings or 8 rings, something like that. It was a pretty decent amount because I was getting copper really, really quick. But if you come down here, guys, real quick, you can go ahead and see that we only have 12 stacks of copper blocks left. Yes, I know I do gotta, fortune those, but save that for another time. So, in between episodes, guys, rather than continuing the top of the shell, like I think I'm going to finish this ring here, what I'm going to do is actually start working this part back. And that's so we can go ahead and start like putting our animals in and like our elevators up to the next floor, get a general idea where they are. Because that'll be more useful to us than me going up and finishing the whole thing. So we'll basically do the whole bottom, then we'll do the shell, and then we'll do the cap. But with that said, guys, let's go ahead and get, of course, this area in terraformed. So what I'm going to do this time, different than last time, is over here you guys can kind of see, if I get over there quickly, you can kind of see like it went like this, Crimson Nylium, which I did, yeah, see, I learned the name. But I did Crimson Nylium, and then I kind of peppered in the netherrack, which does look good. I mean, I do like this. But this time I want to try more of like a gradient style. So you guys know that gradients are like the big thing in Minecraft right now, and you have to build with a gradient. But, we're not doing that. But I want to try to gradient this. So basically what you do is like you make a ring or two of the Crimson Nylium, and then you do like a half ring, but you like pepper in Crimson Nylium, and then you start your netherrack, and then you do like a ring or two of that, and then you'll start your red sand. So let's get the Crimson Nylium in. We'll see how that looks, and then we'll just go step by step. So as you guys can see, I went around and just did the outline of this little ice lake here, of course, in the Crimson Nylium. So I made the first two and a half layers even, and then this third layer I kind of half brought out. So I brought it out in certain sections, so it's not like a perfect circle anymore. As you guys can see, this is like a little bit thicker than that side, that's a little bit thicker, and so is that. So what we're going to do now is, of course, go back around with the netherrack, and what I'm going to do is do 2 circles of this, and then once again another half layer, and then we'll go ahead and add our red sand, and we can kind of make this all squared off too, so this section will be done. So who's ready for the grand reveal of what we got done? So I have the map in my inventory. I haven't updated it yet, and we'll update it, and then we'll go check out what we did. So, bam. Bam! Oh, yeah. That looks pretty cool. I like that better than this one here. Let's go check out this thing. So, the good thing about this is the terraforming kind of writes itself because I'm just following the natural terrain. So, I went ahead and grew up some of these crimson trees. Put a bunch of these little thingies in. What are these things called? I went in my inventory. Crimson roots. So we have a bunch of those hanging out around here. The cool thing is these trees come with lights. So I don't think we have to worry too much about mob spawns. Especially because of the new mob spawning mechanics in 1.18. But I think this area turned out pretty cool. And, this kind of does add some life to our area. It's kind of like, okay, this water here at one point sustained these trees. Or maybe these trees now can somehow get water from ice. What I think I might do, guys, though, is actually like connect these 2 areas somehow. I don't know for certain if we will, but we might end up doing that. But that is terraforming job number 1 done. Now we got to go over here and of course do this hole, and like I said, we are going to leave this a bit blank here in the middle, so it's still going to have the green in it, but that's only because we got to build that serpent. But I'm going to go ahead and bring down some netherrack and then bring down some Crimson Nylium, and I'll have like a really red circle in the middle, and then we'll go ahead and build our serpent there. But we just got to even that out a little bit with, of course, some red sand, and then we can start bringing down the netherrack. And now with terraforming job number 2 done, guys, we can go ahead and check our map. So with this one, like I said, I kind of went with the Crimson Nylium down to the bottom and the netherrack on the sides. I did leave a gap just to put our sea serpent or snake or ice serpent or whatever we're going to call it. So it's going to be a little green still, but here we go. Bam! So as you can see that little bit of green still in there, and that's because you can see down into the cave. But this is our current hole. And like I said, right there is where our serpent's going to be coming out of. And then we'll just go ahead and cover any area that's like exposed. But he's going to be coming out of there and like arcing up over, which will be kind of cool because our ship is going to go back this way. So it'll kind of look like he's attacking our ship. So definitely pretty cool. So what do we have left to do? Well, we have to install our quad beacon. Sorry. Oh gosh. Our quad beacon that we had installed last time, because you guys remember it was all the way over there, and I didn't realize that realm render distance for beacons is terrible. So what I think we're going to do is we're actually going to stick it somewhere probably right around in here. I think you're going to be able to see it. I'm going to do like a test run before I do that, but we're going to put our iron beacon here, and then over on the other side over here, we'll go ahead and put our emerald beacon. And just go ahead and disregard all these holes because, one, Endermen are destroying this landscape. They're the biggest pain ever because they can pick up sand. And B, there's a lot of creeper holes around here too because sometimes when I get done AFKing, I don't see a creeper. But we'll go ahead and put the other one here, and that means we can put one back there and one back there. So we'll have a quad beacon. And then, of course, you guys know the likes goal. So every like that I get, I double it, and then we explode that many TNT in the nether. And my goal is to build a netherite beacon up on the top here, because there's kind of like a lookout thing if you look on the actual ship. So we're going to make that a netherite beacon. So let's go ahead and get our beacons in. And as I finished covering it up, you guys can see that we have a quad emerald beacon. So you guys know that my goal was, of course, to get a beacon of every kind. And we are currently working towards a gold one. I do have the actual beacons required to complete it. The only problem is I don't have enough gold. When I was in the Mesa, I did mine some. So we do have a bit more, but we don't have a lot. So I think we're going to have to go mining in the nether or something like that. But yeah, we now have 2 quad beacons. And that is out of 5. So, of course, we have gold remaining and we have diamond. So, we will be, of course, trying to get the diamond one on the Minecraft Mining Podcast. And if you guys haven't, make sure you check that out. It's pretty cool. We interview people, talk about Minecraft, and really anything Minecraft. So, whatever you want to talk about in Minecraft, leave a comment on the last episode. And, I'll check it out. And maybe we'll talk about in the next episode. So, yeah. That is going to conclude today's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. We got a ton of work done. In between episodes, I will, of course, continue to AFK copper and oxidize it so we can add to our ship. Like I said, the stuff that's down here right now, I'm just going to go ahead and finish up one of the loops on the top. That way, it's just done. But from then on, we're just working towards the back of the ship. I got to, of course, draw that up in creative mode. So, guys, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like, make sure you leave a comment, and as always, make sure you subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.